Alrighty, here's a video of the Lumineth Realm-lords units. I'm going to go through every unit, all the information you have, so it's going to be pretty accurate, but some of the information might change as you go, as long as the points get updated or something changes. We'll start with the Stone Guard. So we have Stone Guard, they have 2 attacks, 3s, 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage. Pretty good, not bad. They also have the effect if you have 2 Runes of the Mountain. They get 3+ armor save, so they can be very tanky, especially Rune of the Mountain being pretty insane as it gives you 5 up board and -1 to wound if you have a Rune of the River on your description. Rune of the River is pretty good, so an army of these guys can actually be very good and very strong. If I were to rate them, I'd probably put them into like an A tier or around there. Then we'll go to the next unit we have, which will be the Stone Mage. He has pretty basic stats. He's a wizard, level 1. I didn't include that, but he has 6-inch move, 5 up health, 4 up save, so he's tankier than the other wizards. He gives the effect to the Stone Mages, or Stone Guard, to give them an additional rend, but they cannot make a pile in, so not insanely good, but okay if you're using them. He also has a pretty good spell, as in he does d6 mortal wounds if they move on an objective or touch an objective, then move. So you can get some decent damage there. I wouldn't say he's crazy. I'd probably put him in like a B tier or around there. Then we have Eleanor and Ethelor. These guys are actually pretty good. They have good abilities all around. They're very tanky. 10 wounds, 4 up save, 5 up board. You can give them a 4 up board. So good for the most part. 6-inch move only, but they have a teleport, so they should be pretty survivable. They have a 12-inch range, 3 attacks, 3 threes, 1 rend, 3 damage, so it's nothing crazy, but you can get a max of 9 damage, so nothing to scoff about. Then we have the main one, who's the attack one, 5 attacks, 2 threes, 1 rend, 2 damage. You'll see in one of the effects that it really buffs up, so we'll get to that after. Then the other lady, she has just nothing really. 2 attacks, 3s, 4s, 1 rend, d3 damage, so it's a little bit more damage. They have total eclipse spell until the start of your next turn. The first time enemy uses a command within 18, they must spend an additional command point. So not bad ability actually, because command points are pretty crucial in this game. So it really affects a lot of armies. She also has the choose which version you are. So if you are the wizard version, you get 1 power level and a 4+ ward. So a lot of times you can choose that early and then switch the other one, because the other one gets +1 damage per on the current battle round. So if you do it turn 3, she's damage 5. She just got quite a lot of damage, especially for a 290 point, a really small model, and she can kind of sneak around. And then she has the heal d6 and teleport if any model has died within her range. So she can get out, and that's end of any turn. So if you don't kill her, she kind of just gets out and does whatever she needs to do. Where would I rate her? Probably put her around. Oh man, honestly, I do see taking her pretty worth it. So I guess A tier. I think that makes most sense. Yeah, 290, 10 health. Not the tankiest, but far board at times. Level 2 wizard as well. Yeah, you know what? She is probably like easily A tier. Sentinels, these guys are okay. 18 inch range, 2 attacks, 3 fours, 1 rend, 1 damage. You can give them additional 6 range at subtract 1 to shooting. So it'll be 4 fours. It's good pick damage. Is there anything to scoff about? No, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're good either. So I'll put them at a B tier, as they're pretty versatile. 5 up saves, whatever, but they're going to be in the back, so they shouldn't really die to anything. But getting pick damage, especially for Lumineth, is super helpful. So it really could depend on the army composition. Then we have the Wardens, which I think are better, but they might be about the same. They have 2 abilities, Warden Pikes. They have anti-rend, and then they ignore the effects of +1 damage from charge, so they are actually decently tanky, because the last stuff has the charge +1 damage, and they also have crit mortals, so they do a lot of damage back, surprisingly, just because of that. Again, I don't think they're crazy though. might just put them at B tier. B tier, but they are definitely like almost include in a lot of certain armies as they're a 120 10 wound troop unit with 4 up save. So yeah, put them at B tier. The Blade Lords have I think also gotten a lot better, especially with their ability they get. It just makes you have to focus a bit on them, as similar to the Stone Guard, because they get a huge bonus for each Rune of Strength you have. Add 1 to the rend characteristics of their blades for each Rune of Strength. So you can get some high rend. It's actually very crazy. And then they also get a 5-up board for each Scanari hero. So in general, they just become tanky from that. Like 4 or 5 up, that's actually really good, especially turn 1. I do think these guys will be taking a lot. 150, it's not the cheapest, but 10 wounds for 150. Their damage is pretty good, 15 attacks, 3s and 4s though. Would I put them up to A tier? It really depends if Rune of Strength can carry a lot of games. And if Rune of Strength was a bit better, I would rate them up into A tier. But if you look at Rune of Strength, it just gives +1 to run and charge. +1 to wound is super good though. The +1 to wound, but then there's no defense. I think I'm gonna put them onto a B tier as well, just because. Yeah, just because Rune of Strength, I don't think it's the strongest. I don't think it has like huge bonuses, but 5-up board, you know what? They will go up to A tier just because they have 5-up board themselves, so they should be pretty survivable from that. 5-up, 4, 5-up, 15. 4-up, 5-up, 15 wounds. Yeah, you know what? Actually, they will be an A tier just because of the 5-up board. It's pretty easy to get, and it's just combat range. You look at like units like the Command Corps, they do a lot as well, and they're at like 170, 180, and they're still worth taking. And they have the same stats, 4 or 5-up, more wounds, but and reses. So they do have a different playstyle. But I think it just pushes them up to be good enough. Then we have the Wind Chargers. These guys are actually pretty tanky at 3 health, 4 plus armor save, so not bad. 14 inch move, so they're very mobile, and they have a shooting attack. I actually think they're pretty good in general. Again, they get a bonus if you have 2 or more Runes of the Wind. Rune of the Wind's not a bad thing. I don't think it's the best. I just think for Lumineth, you kind of want the defensive ones, and the other 2 are more defensive. This has the defensive part of giving -1 to hit for Rune of the Wind, so it is good. This unit I actually will put up in A tier as well for 160, 15 wounds. They're doing a different job, is the only thing. They're kind of just going to objective. I don't think you tank a 10 man, but there could be cases you do. I think you just do 5 mans and just go for objectives, so I'll give them A tier just for being like a better objective unit in general. Dawn Riders, so far, a mixed bag on these guys. They are pretty good 14-inch moves, super fast, 3 health, 4 up save, 180 points. So it's 15 wounds, 4 up armor. They do a lot of damage on the charge. If they don't get the charge, they're pretty weak. But charge +1 damage, so 2 damage, it's 10. 20 damage, yeah, that's pretty good. But again, I just don't like they have the move that's can be like game changing. It's gonna be hard to catch these guys. They can honestly go from like S tier to like D tier, I feel like, which is the reason I want to give them a B tier rating. Because if you're really good with positioning, you focus on, they don't get any rune ability, so they are more independent if you think about it. And because of that, actually, I will put them up to A tier just because a lot of the other units you have to have like 2 runes or this or that. These guys you could just fill in to any army and they'll still do like a really good job. And if you're going like Rune of Strength for the +1 to wound, they'll do even more damage. Honestly, they are A tier, but if you're A tier in like any army list and not in a specific army, if that makes sense. Spirit of the Mountain, 340, so he's a lot of points, 14 health, 3 up armor, 6 up ward. He's got a shooting attack, 1 attack, d6, whatever. It comes up, I guess. 4 attacks, damage 5, 4 is 2, 2 rend, so not bad damage. And he has effect if you're going Rune of the Mountain to give +1 attack for each instance of it, so he can have an insane amount of attacks for its turn. 5, you'd get 5 extra attacks, plus if you have the other dude, he'll give an additional 1, so that's 6 attacks. That's 10 attacks at 5 damage, but is he going to make it to the end of the game? Probably not. So I don't think he is worth the 340. It's just a little pricey, but he's still really good. And honestly, I'm not going to put him in low tier because I just don't know yet, so I'll put him in a B tier. His rampage is add 2 to the target roll if the target charges turn, inflict amount of mortal wounds equal to the roll. So if you roll a 3, you get 5 mortal wounds. Nothing crazy again. Spirit of the Wind, another monster. And just a note for both of these guys, you do have the faction where you can give monsters the 12-inch bubble, ignore 1 damage. So that does increase their viability just because of that. So we have the bow shot, which is 4 shots, 2 damage, run 2, 2, 3, so super good all around. 8 damage, not bad. Then in combat, he does actually nothing, so just ignore that. He loses. Oh, he does more damage to monsters. That's very cool. Okay, and then he gives strike last, which is a very good rampage. So you can use these guys as like a support piece. Which is not bad. At 3 up to give strike last is decent odds. And then he has the move ability once per turn. They have shooting combat. Oh, okay. He also has shooting combat, so it cannot end that move in combat. So you can do some maneuverability, but you have to be stay in combat still. Then we have Teclis. I actually don't know Teclis that much, but 640, he's probably super pricey. I need some D tiers, so you know what? I will put Teclis at C tier. I just think 640. You're just spending so many points on this guy. If you're going the wizard list, you do get +2. It's just kind of good. It just really depends if that list is good or not, and I don't think it will be going the whole wizard route. Alvanor, he's also very good just because he gives the Rune of the Mountain scripture within a 12-inch bubble to units. Again, the cows get +1 armor save if they have 3, and the other one gets +1 attack. And he also gets to add 1 attack to his attack profile, so he's going to become a lot of attacks if you're doing Rune of the Mountain. I just think at 420, he's just a little too expensive. And the reason being is he's a 6-inch move for a huge monster, and it's going to be really hard to position even with the 5-inch move from the spell. So I'm going to put him at... If I put Teclis at C, I'm going to put this guy as well at C. I just don't think he's worth the 420 points. Just too many. Wind Mage. What does he do? He gives 3 Harken units. I actually don't know which are Harken units. I'd assume it's the fast units. Let me just check. Yeah, so it's just the fast units. So getting run and shoot, sure. He's 140 points, so wizard, so not bad. Pick a unit within 12 of this unit. I can make a casting and remove the target from the battlefield and set it up. So a teleport spell's always good. There's no issue there. His shooting's nothing really. His melee is okay. But he's got a 12-inch move. He's on the what the hell is it called? The cloud. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Either way, he's on that. So he is okay. Honestly, I'm putting him at C tier. I don't think you take him. I don't see why you would versus the other wizards. Just because run and shoot and charge, if it affected like other units, maybe, but it just seems Harkin's just not many options here. Then we have this dude. He's got a good profile actually. 3 damage on the charge, 2 attacks at us. Demon Blade's okay. Anti-demon. His companion's okay. His sword is. So he's 10, 16. Yeah, it's nothing. It's not bad, but it's nothing crazy. At 2 just rolls, this unit's in combat. This unit has to strike first for the rest of the turn. So he is a wizard, which is good, but at 250 points to get, you're basically paying a premium for the Rune of Strength. That's what I think. I honestly think this guy's way too expensive. I'm gonna put him at some of these tiers. People are gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna put him at D tier. We need someone in there, you know. Colligrave, he changes any of your scriptures, so for that, it's pretty good premium. He is on his little stilts, so that's also a bonus. He's got nothing really good in combat, but he is a wizard, so is he good? He'll fit a lot of lists. I just don't think he's crazy. He's not going to make it every list, but he'll make it in some just for being a wizard alone and having a decent ability. 6-inch move. The other wizard is a 12-inch move, so he does have that bonus, but you can give this guy the item to teleport. Then you have this one, once per turn, your hero phase. So you can choose a unit within 18 on a 3+. The target cannot use commands till the start of your turn. That's really good. Do I think this one's better? It's just so hard to choose. Pretty much if you're choosing one of these, you're choosing one or the other. Would you rather change your depict rune? It depends on the army you're making, I think, but this can come up way more sometimes. Otherwise, they're all the same stats, so I don't think it affects anything else. So I'll give her. Yeah, just join the B tier. It's fine. Everyone's in B tier. Then we have the. I can't read the name because something's in the way. But he has a shoot in combat, whatever. 3 attacks actually do 3 damage. That's not bad. He's 180 points, a lot of points, but he is a wizard too. Actually, not sure if you can take this guy, but. But he does have a really good effect. So I'm gonna put this guy at 8 here, just for the additional spell on a 4 up. If you're doing a spell list, you probably take him, and then he also has a spell which, until the start of the next turn, attacks that target. That friendly unit cannot score critical hits. That's okay. The Lore Seeker. Pick a faction once per battle. Pick faction terrain feature within 3. So he gets +1 to your faction terrain. It's actually not bad, and he is a wizard himself. He also has a teleport once per battle army deployment phase, but it's during the deployment phase as well. So you can reposition him, sure. Nothing crazy for stat wise. He's actually better than the other wizards. I actually kind of weirdly like this guy. At 140, he's got a decent melee profile, shooting, and a good ability if you have wizards. So I'm gonna put this guy up into A tier weirdly. Other than that, he doesn't really do much, so he's just an okay model. Then we have Zephyrith. I forget his name now. Zephyrith, yeah. He's 340, but he has some really good effects. It kind of makes up for the fact that he's so expensive. Out of all the monsters, he's kind of the better one. He's got 10 health, 4 up save, 5 up ward, so okay tanky wise. He's got shoot in combat, 2 threes, rend 3, 3 damage, so that's a 16 damage, 50-inch range shot, which is super good. That alone kind of just makes him a good support piece in a lot of armies. He has Call of the Wind, so he gets a 12-inch range to counter Rune of the Wind, so actually super helpful as well, because Rune of the Wind's, although good, -1 to hit, it does suck if you're trying to do like Rune of the Mountain, so, and to get the Rune of the Mountain bonus ability, which is -1 to, no it's not, the River one. The River gets the 3-inch move, so if you have him nearby, you can do that turn 1, which is actually really good. And then he has the shoot, move d6, add 2 if he has a Rune of Wind. He starts with a Rune of Wind, so that's also very good. d6 plus 2. Pick 3 visible enemy units within 6 of this to be the target. On a 2+, inflict mortal wounds, and then subtract 1 from the wound roll. So if it was hit, I think it would be better, but wound's still really, 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 really good. So kind of just makes him just a good support piece all around. Just from that ability, he becomes tanky from that, and it just a 6-inch range. It doesn't even have to be in combat to do it, and he has so much move that he can kind of get in those positions. The Light of Therion, he's 290, so a lot of points, but he has a really good ability. This unit can teleport into combat as long as another unit's in combat with that unit, and he's not in combat, so he kind of teleports all across the board. You could, oh sorry, Sephiroth, I think I actually I'm gonna put him at, I think, S tier. I think he's actually good. 18-inch move, you can keep him alive. He's just so fragile, but I think Lord wise, he's definitely worth it. And the Light of Therion, he's got the teleport, so he is super good. He does insane damage. He ignores modifiers to hit, so he's just always guaranteed the damage. Damage 3 is crazy. So I easily put him at A tier, but do I put him higher? I don't think so. I'll put him at A tier, it's fine. Bannerblade, they can use even if in combat. It's cool. 140, whatever. This guy's good, really good if you have wardens. He gives the 5-up shield wall basically, so anyone with combat with wardens does a mortal wound on a 5-up. That's actually really good. And he rallies on 3 additional dice, so that's like 1.5 models back every turn. Not bad, a good support piece, and 110 points. Nothing like super crazy, but he is good all around. I actually like, if you're taking wardens, I'll put him at A tier just because if you're taking wardens, he kind of raises wardens up to make them actually worth taking. So otherwise, you're just kind of having wardens do warden things of nothing. Then we have the Lord Regent. Reroll to charge and then subtract 1 to hit, plus 1 to hit. Once per battle, nothing crazy. Okay, damage 150 points. Decently tanky. See. Alright, and that's it. Thanks, guys.